Coaching is not giving solution. Coaching is not being judgmental about coachee. Coachee lacks intelligence. Coachee has behavioral issues. No. You cannot establish your connection with the other person if you are judgmental about that other person. Coaching it is against the principles of the coaching to be judgmental towards your client. Your client is client. You are gray, your client is also gray. You have to accept your client as it is. It is not your job to judge your client or evaluate your client. From your side, there can be some assessments you are doing in your coaching process to evoke awareness. What is the objective of the assessment? Objective of the assessment is to evoke awareness. Coaching is not a coffee table conversation, which I have already spoken. It is all about result orientation. Whether you like it or don't like it, that is how coaching is. Coaching is to get results. Simple. Full stop. It is a structured conversation. It is not a coffee table. Okay, how is the weather and what is this Mumbai Indian? Always they go on this particular bottom of the chart, and afterwards they come up and focus. Okay, maybe for the first few minutes, just to break the ice and just to have some kind of chit chat. If you start a conversation about 2-3 minutes, it is all right. Nothing wrong in that. But you cannot make it as a topic of the discussion, and for 10-15 minutes of your coaching time, you are discussing on the weather and the movies and all that. No. Coaching has a proper structure. First, establish connection. Then finalize the outcome. Then go for evoking awareness. Then go co-design the assignments and go for action plan. And then understand how you are going to monitor as a partners. Right? So this is the coaching process. It is not a normal conversation. Coaching is not mentoring, it is not counseling, it is not consulting, and it is not teaching and training. What coaching is then? Coaching is always focus on outcomes. Whether the outcomes are larger than life or simple outcomes is secondary, but it is focus on outcome. It is always about evoking awareness. It is indeed focus on present and future. Some information from the past, some delving into the past if necessary, all right. But the main focus is on present and future. It is always, I try to reduce the use of the words never and always, but here I purposely using the word always. Coaching is always focused on client's growth. That is how coaches are getting highly paid. Why? Because the coaching in itself, the process itself is transformative and growth oriented. And because I am growing, I am paying you high money. Otherwise, why I have to pay you few thousand rupees per session? A coach has to be emotionally and behavioral intelligent. This is especially philosophy of MML. So for me, it is mandatory for a coach to be emotional and behavioral intelligent. Otherwise, you cannot do effective coaching. It is not possible. I'm not saying you have to be perfectly emotionally and behavioral intelligent. No, 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 no. I'm not talking about that. I'm also not perfectly emotionally and behavioral intelligent. But you should be emotionally and behavioral intelligent as a coach. Coaching is all about intense conversation with active, reflective, and empathetic listening. These are all my words, and sometimes I find it difficult to write concisely. Someone of you may write it more concisely in future. It is intense conversation with active, reflective, and empathetic listening. Foundation of coaching. Coaching is indeed an ethical practice. Coach respects diversity, inclusion, and coach is culturally sensitive, globally culturally sensitive. Why? Because in this particular age of online, right? In our batch also, there are some people who are out of India. So you are going to coach people from multiple countries. So you have to be culturally sensitive. No option. That is a part of the training. That is part of your development. You have to be ethical. Otherwise, you will be debarred from the profession. Debarred means you will not get business. So practically, you will be debarred by default. Coaching is socially responsible profession. It is a different profession. Understand? Coaching is not only for money. Money is a byproduct of a coaching service. But it is a socially responsible profession. You make a difference to the society. And that is a fact. And whatever I am saying is not a bookish knowledge. This is my own experience. So I am very passionate about it. It is a contributory profession. You become a fulfilled human being when through coaching you impact society. That experience, you cannot buy it. Crores of rupees cannot give you that experience. In fact, after a limit, money is a nuisance. There is an importance of the money up to a certain limit only. After that, it is a poison. So coaching is a divine profession, to be precise. Coaching is a divine profession.